how you feeling about playing? I know day to day officially, but how are we feeling?
I'm good. I feel good. I feel good to be back practicing, being with the guys, and feel good to move around. It's been a while, so.
When that injury happened, was it something that immediately you kind of knew maybe how serious it was? Being out for the entire training camp really up
Yeah.
until this week.
I didn't really know anything at the moment. I was just moving around. Just had some soreness, got some things checked out, and had to be precautious of everything. And now I'm just doing everything just to continue to feel better, get back to moving around, get my legs up under me, and keep rolling there.
Do you have like a percentage on where you think you are at this point? Like, is it 100% or is it not quite there yet?
I mean, I feel good. So, I mean, I don't know about any percentage-wise. Mentally, I feel good. Physically, I feel good. So, I'm excited to see
Have they told you need to be concerned about, forgive my interruption, have they told you need to be concerned about contact, or are you past the point where you would need to be concerned
I don't think anybody is restricting me on anything. I'm out here, I'm practicing. I see you guys, and I get to see the guys, and so, like I said, I'm glad to be back out on the field. Glad to be around. I've been like a ghost for the last month and so glad to be back.
Do you believe you'll play on Sunday?
We'll see. Well, it's a game time decision. Got some things we gotta, look at the end of the week, and but like I said, I'm feeling good.
Which shoulder was it?
The right one.
Is that the same one as last year?
Mm-hmm.
How's
Any
the relationship with Mike
procedures?
feel at this point, considering just the lack of reps during most of training camp?
One more time.
The relationship with Mike, just considering the lack of reps during training camp, does that connection feel good right now?
Yeah. Connection feels good. We had a lot of work at this offseason, and we communicate a lot too. So talk, and yeah, I feel like everything's smooth.
You talked about throwing with receivers in California.
Yeah.
Is that you?
Yeah, that was another time we went. So, great time there. Got to talk a little bit more about some things that we like to do and some routes we want to do in the upcoming season. So, we got some reps in. So, don't feel too uncomfortable with that or anything like that. So.
What are you looking forward to the most to get this offense on the field and just progress from last season and what you guys built?
It's always nice to go from the first year to the second year having the same playbook and play caller. So we're comfortable with a lot of the guys. I think last year you don't really get to know who you're on the field with until like that first game for us, because we're not really tackling or anything like that. But like as far as like making plays and all that, like when someone makes a play in the actual game during the season, you're like, okay, this guy's consistent. I can trust him down the road. But we have that. We had that from like a year being with each other, and we don't have to do that all over again. So I think we're just rolling. We trust our guys, and everybody trusts in each other. So
How has your relationship with Drake just evolved over the offseason?
oh, amazing. We kind of like a lot of the similar things. And, we're both chill guys, and our room in general, the receiver room, is amazing. So I'm happy to be here, and yeah.
What was the extent of the injury? Was it dislocation? Like, what exactly was it?
Just like I said, it was just soreness, really. Soreness and just couldn't really have just stiffness in a lot of ways. So, but yeah, I don't really want to go too much in detail with that. But like I said, I'm feeling good. And I'm back. So.
How tough was the month out of training camp? Come back outside and then get shut down.
It really wasn't. I think it was just a test. I wouldn't say a test, a learning experience. God was putting me through a situation in that, and it gave other people an opportunity to grow in themselves as well. Gave Casey an opportunity to get out there, Chris get out there, Kyle to grow in himself. So everything happens for a reason, and everything happens for a reason, and we're gonna need a lot of guys to make some plays. So they got to get those reps, and feeling good.
You and Mike both referenced these off-season reps y'all had together. Did you maybe take more with him this off-season than you have in previous off-seasons with whatever quarterback you had?
I mean, my boy Justin Fields, that's like my brother, so we was together every day. It's kind of similar to then when I was getting some reps. I'm always working out, so whenever I can see the ball, I have my homeboy throwing to me. So I just need to see the ball in the air a couple times, and chemistry would be good with me and Mike, though. So.
From your perspective, how does this defense look different?
Oh, they're
flying around. They're flying around. It'd be interesting to see what we do, in the game. Like I said, those are they got some new pieces over there, and new playbook. So they have to, do the first year thing. Who's going to make that play, who's going to be consistent or whatever. So, yeah, they have to go through that right now. So, but they've been flying around. It's been lovely to see. But I've told them already. When I got back here, I was like, I'm interested to see you guys in practice. I haven't seen you in a while, so it's been fun.
Can you tell that there's some young guys out there that are going to get this start? Like when you're out there, could you tell a difference between who might be a rookie and who's a vet?
Honestly, the whole defense, all the defensive players are flying around. So you really can't tell. I'm not talking to the guys. I communicate every once in a while, but I don't know how they're, talking, communicating with each other. So that's another thing you have to do within this game. So.
How does it feel going into week 1 now that you're finally here?
Feels good. I'm super excited. Obviously we've been just waiting and, trying to, do everything correct in practice and even off the field, just seeing different looks and stuff like that. But now that we're here and we have an extra week to study and prepare for them, I just can't wait.
How big does this matchup feel with the Bucs, with it just being a division rival and someone, you got to make an impact early?
I mean, this is the game that sets the tone, I think, for us as a team for the whole season. And, with us, we understand that this is a division game, but, we're taking this game like it's a championship game, and that it's the most important thing that's in front of us. And for us, we got a tough matchup coming up, so, handling that the right way and, being the more aggressive, more physical team and just owning everything all 4 quarters, everything else will take care of itself.
What kind of strides can this offense make this season, just as you guys get more comfortable? I know Penix taking over a little new, but definitely have some familiarity with Robinson and what you guys want to do.
Yeah, I mean, in the year 2 offense, it's a drastic difference. With year 1, around this time, we were still trying to learn a couple plays, learn some things, learn some formations, but now we got everything down packed, and we have so much more. That we have going on. So for us, I think it's a blessing having, a year 2 coordinator, especially one as talented as Coach, Z-Rob, and, everything that he does for us and gets us in space and let us just do what we do. It's pretty special.
What do you expect in terms of your workload this season? Do you expect it to be as high or higher than last year?
I mean, hey, it's whatever, it takes to help this team win. I'm going to do as much as I can during every single game to, put us in the best situations and, impact us the best way possible. And for me, when I'm on that field, I want to be a threat to everybody around me on defense and, to let them know, this is, it's going to be a challenge to stop all of us. And, I think that whatever the workload is, that's what I'm ready to do.
Is that something you talked with Christian about this offseason, how to manage a heavy workload? He's been through that several times in his career.
Yeah, absolutely. And, he just told me, you just take it 1 week at a time, especially with my preparation, just, take it 1 week with recovering in my body. And the thing that, even helps me, we still got Tyler, so I don't got to do everything myself. We still have another guy that's, so much is capable to dominate as well. And, it just helps me out, helps him out, and, creates so much longevity for us because, we can just rely off each other whenever we need a break or something like that.
Some backs say that they feel like they get better once they hit a certain volume. They need to sort of get worked in to get laddered up a little bit. Do you feel like that? And if so, what's that threshold for you?
No, when you step on the field, I'm ready to go. I know there's some guys that say they need some carries and stuff like that, but I mean, it can pop carry number 1. You can go carry number 1. So for me, it's right away.
Random topic. Do you think it's weird there are so many left-handers on this offense?
Yeah, I didn't even realize that until when we started camp. I was like, damn, we have a lot of lefties on this offense. But I think it's pretty cool, man.
Does your form change any? Does the way that does that affect it at all by
catch the football?
Yeah, or
No.
catch or the pocket that you create, does that matter at all, left-handedness?
No, not at all. You just, when Mike throws the ball, you just kind of get used to it. And, I mean, it looks the same kind of to me, so it's all good.
Thank you, John.
Yeah.
What do you remember from the 2 games last year against the Bucs? Overtime here, and Cal had a big game down there with a couple touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, we got 2 wins. It was great for us. We understood the assignment. We picked up everything. We, did everything we were supposed to do. And I think this year we're even more explosive than even last year. So, I think it's going to be just a fun matchup. And for us, last year was great, but this is a new season, new year. They got a new team, and they got some new guys. So that's what we're looking forward to.
4 rookies and a handful of second-year guys in such pivotal roles going into week 1.
It's exciting. Yeah, it's exciting for them. It's exciting for the guys that are also going to play. What you guys will find is we do such a heavy rotation. I've spoke about the defensive line, but we'll even rotate in our secondary at times. So although the rookies are going to play a substantial amount, and if the package they're on is the first package we throw out there, they will get the start. Everybody's going to play. If you get a jersey on Sunday, you're gonna have an opportunity to contribute.
Coach spoke to Jesse earlier, and we asked him, what does he think this defense is going to look like? And his response basically was, we're not going to really say, kind of wait and see type thing. Do you have a response to that, or is your response kind of the same?
Yeah, our style of play is the number one thing that I hope comes across, and I have great belief that it will. That's not speaking to stats or numbers or results, but the style of play, it better scream out loud, and I think it will. Everything I've seen out there would lead me to believe that's going to happen on Sunday.
What do you anticipate from the Bucs offense? Obviously, Baker has had an upward trajectory the last couple of years, and they have a lot of weapons, old and new, it seems, this season.
Yeah, they're going to challenge us in every single way. Obviously, division games are big, and home division games are even bigger in the way that, I've always believed they count as 2. And what an opening game for us, especially for, like you said, a young defense and some guys that maybe haven't played a whole lot, because passing game between Mike and all the other weapons they have, the screen game, it's a problem. Baker, like you said, on this trajectory where, he was always a good quarterback. I remember defending against him when he was with Cleveland, and I was so impressed with him. And hadn't played him for quite a bit now, and to study him for this game, it's like, where did this guy come from? Because he went from good to borderline elite, and he's just been doing an amazing job, and he's surrounded with, really, really cool talent, and it's schematically a problem as well, because they're going to test you in every way. So we're going to have to play our best brand of football to keep this game competitive.
When you have these rookies that you're considering for, in this case, starting roles, what is it as a coach that you need to see that feels like gives you confidence that they know what they're doing, you can trust this player to go out there and play?
I think it all started with, the draft process and, evaluating throughout that. And, we love the football players. I think we loved more the makeup of the 4 defensive draft picks that we got. So, we had great hopes that they would be able to be instant contributors, and all they've done since drafting them is prove that to us and demonstrate that we can have high level trust in them. So it's exciting, exciting these guys get to start their career in this way.
Coach, I know you're on the coaching side, obviously, it goes without saying, but this team has had 3 different defensive coordinators the last few years. As a coach, how do you sort of make things easy on the players themselves, knowing that they've had to go through a couple different systems to, learn and kind of restart that over again, to where your system is the one that sticks?
Yeah, so the first thing we did was tear everything down. You do that regardless, even when it's your own scheme, you tear it down and you really start from the ground up. And I think we've done a good job of that collectively, both players and coaches alike, just being very slow. We were very intentional, deliberate in the spring of, all right, we aren't moving on until we create a level of mastery to what we're doing. So I don't think you'll see, I know you won't see a whole lot of variance regarding scheme early on, but I'd like to say you're going to see a high level of mastery in what we are doing.
And how vital has Jesse been with kind of taking Xavier, Billy kind of under his wing a little bit? I mean, if he has it all, but just to kind of similar positions, that type of thing, knowing that this is going to be their first start in the NFL?
Yeah, we're just so fortunate. The best teams with the best culture are a byproduct of their best players being their best people, and Jesse Bates absolutely embodies that in every way. The player, the leader, the teammate, the man. I'm sure he's also a better husband and probably a better father than me, and in every way he is, and he's elite person, and we're so fortunate to have him. And those young guys are just, yeah, I mean, you couldn't ask for a better mentor in-house. You know, here's a guy that, especially a guy like Xavier, who has absolutely modeled this game after Jesse and has looked up to him for as long as he can remember, and then get an opportunity to not only learn from him, but to play next to him. I mean, it's just, at the end of the day, he will be the reason, Jesse is, he will be the reason these guys play a long, long time, because they just got such an amazing model of what a pro is supposed to look like.
Have you had this many young guys in the depth chart before?
We have played with a lot of young guys. I don't know about this many in the secondary, you know, so it's, I think that's always, you know, there's always a level of, there's going to be growing pains, as with anybody. There's growing pains just first year of a system, let alone rookies, you know, so there's going to be those moments, those necessary keloids that we all have to have, and you realize why certain coaching points are so important, and why we emphasize certain things. Sometimes it's hard to just take people's word for things. You just got to go through it and you got to live it, you know, and that's going to be the case for these rookies at times. But at the same time, they're going to play hard. I know that, and they're going to work their butts off to not repeat mistakes. And at the end of the day, you're going to have a really cool product at the end of this year. You know, I'd like to say the rookies that I have played a substantial amount their rookie seasons, it typically takes to about the bye where they feel like they're drowning. And then all of a sudden, it's like they take a deep breath and the game starts to slow down. The scheme, not only ours, but, you know, others, it all starts to make sense a little bit, you know. So, but the only way, in my opinion, to get there is to go through it, you know, and play.
Is there a most important coaching point, to use your term, for these rookies?
I think finding a process, you know, it goes back to, not to belabor the point regarding Jesse, but like creating a process is ultimately how you create sustained success. And it takes young guys sometimes, you know, some time to understand that and fully grasp that, because in college, especially if you're supremely talented from a physical standpoint, you have success regardless of how hard you study. Obviously, you have more success if you put the time in, invest in. But in college, a lot of guys can get away with maybe an inconsistent process, and I think you learn right away that go find the veteran that you see that has a sustained success, has played this game a long time at a high level, and just soak it all up and just understand everything he does and how he turns every stone, and be diligent about a process. You create that, and these rookies are they're gonna find some comfort in that, and ultimately they're gonna grow the way we anticipate them growing if they can find that.
Anything else?
Is it hard to have patience with a rookie?
Is it hard? I don't know if I'm very patient to begin with. So I have patience because there's a lot of things that I understand that are normal, you know, and things like that, you know, I can rationalize. It's repeated errors, it's stuff like that from a lack of preparation. That would, but after getting to know these young guys that we have here, that's not going to be the case. You know, it's not going to be from any failure or any obstacles or any bumps in the road that they might have. It's not going to be from a lack of trying or preparing or effort or dedication to this thing. It's going to be just normal stuff, you know, and for that, although it's going to, you know, it frustrates everybody at times, I know what it's going to look like when it's all said and done. So I remind myself of that, and we're going to be all right.
Just one more. No one's wanted to say what the defense is going to be. Can you give us a one-word description of what folks might see on Sunday?
One word. That's hard.
You give them 3.
Yeah, and it's something that it's like, you know, it's something I've spoken on before, and not to be redundant, but sometimes I'm intentionally redundant, you know, because it's something that really matters to me is our identity of being this heart, mind, fist defense. I'd like to say the casual fan that maybe doesn't know a ton about football, they're going to walk away seeing a defense that strains and plays with passion and has real connection with each other. I'd like to say that they're going to see a defense that executes at a high level. There's a high level of precision, communication, synergy, and ultimately there's going to be a level of violence that they haven't seen for a while.
Do you have that tattooed anywhere?
I need to.
Players.
I need to.
You don't have it yet?
There's a player and a coach that I've been with that has that tattooed. So maybe I'm
What's it
next.
gonna take for
I should be next. Nothing. It's coming. Just I need some time. Yeah, it's coming.